have my, except for
Good morning, folks. Is there a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting? Unanimous with one exception. You abstaining? Right.
Did you get my abstention?
I'll ask Deputy Commissioner Slifka to give us a quarterly review of stats at hearings. Anybody?
Good morning. I think most of you are aware of what the quarterly report is. There's someone new in the room, so I'll just review it. What it is. So basically, we look at the summonses received, and this time is for the fourth quarter 2016, a comparison of the fourth quarter 2015 to 2016 of decisions rendered, summonses received, and summonses heard, and a look at the percentage of in violation versus dismissed for each agency, and the most commonly issued summonses by agency. So, let's begin. Okay, so summons received during division for easily designated cases, we kind of now call them A's designated cases, and this is the fourth quarter 2016. So for DSNY, you can see there's a 3% decrease from 122,784 to 119,537. DOB, there's been a decrease from the third, this is the third quarter to the fourth quarter. So 15,487 to 14,133. DOT has been a 5% increase, 12,702 to 13,381. FDNY a decrease, 7%, 11,945 to 11,083. DEP a 2% decrease, 4,087 to 4,025, and DOHMH a 21% decrease, 10,000 to 7,929. Okay, for parks, there's been a 20% decrease, that's often weather related, and it's 2,439 to 1,955. NYPD, there's been a 20% increase from 4,378 to 5,264. Do it, 81% increase from 32 to 58, and they for 44% decrease from 18 to 10. Landmarks a 58% decrease from 24 to 10. All right, and now we're going to look at the summonses received comparing the fourth quarter 2015 with the fourth quarter 2016. So for DSNY, overall has been an 8% increase, 111,500 to 119,537. For DOB, comparing fourth quarter 15 to fourth quarter 16, an increase of 10%, 12,875 to 14,133. DOT, interestingly enough, it's a 31% decrease from 19,516 to 13,381. FDNY, it's a minor decrease of 2%. DOHMH, it's an increase of 12%. NYPD, it's an increase of 33% from 3,954 to 5,264. And for parks, DEP, there's an increase too of 28%, 3,139 to 4,025. Parks a decrease, 2,311 to 1,955. Do it a 68% decrease, 183 to 58. BIC, 74% decrease, 39 to 10. Landmarks, 35 to 10. And overall, there's been an increase of 171,714 to 177,618. Right, and now we have, let's see what we got, okay. Total summons heard, quarterly comparison of 2015 to 2016. So for DSNY, it's been a 24% increase, 16,338 to 20,212. For DOB, there's been a 32% increase, 11,269 to 14,889. For DOHMH, it's a 9% decrease, 4,562 to 4,159. FDNY, there's been an increase, 4,085 to 4,726, 16%. DEP, it's a 2% increase, 3,652 to 3,715. For DOT, it's a 20% decrease, 3,446 to 2,770. NYPD, it's an increase, 2,188 to 2,796. It's a 28% increase. DeWitt, there was an 88% decrease, 760 to 92. Parks, 17% decrease, 690 to 575. BIC, a 68% decrease, 19 to 6. And Landmarks, a 47% decrease from 17 to 9. But overall, the total summonses heard has increased 14.9% from 47,507 to 54,573. So that's decisions heard, and decisions rendered. Well, DSNY is up 6%, 15,809 to 16,832. DOB is up 13%, 7,213 to 8,147. DOHMH is up, down 3,877 to 3,353. FDNY is up 11%, 3,493 to 3,885. DOT is down 16%, 2,488 to 2,083. DEP is up 8%, 2,356 to 2,535. NYPD is up 19%, 2,271 to 2,697. Parks is down 629 to 540, 14%. And DeWitt is down 89%, 475 to 53. Because down, of course, 16 to 5, 69%. And Landmarks is down 30%, 10 to 7. Overall, decisions rendered has increased 3.9%, 38,710 to 40,231. Okay, so as for number of days to get the decisions done, 82% of our cases have been decided within 20 days of the hearing date. Okay, in violation and dismissal. So we're comparing the fourth quarter 2015 to the fourth quarter 2016. And so funny because Tom asked for this comparison and he's missed both quarterly presentations on this. So, but anyway, it's pretty much the same. So total violation 57.7% in 2015 and 56.4% in 2016. So DSNY, again, they're kind of close. 42% in violation in 2015, 38% in violation in 2016. DOB, 80% in violation in 2015, 75% in violation in 2016. DOT, 56% in violation in 15, 57% in violation in 16. FDNY, 90% in violation in 2015, 90% in 2016. DEP, 81% in violation in 2015, 86% in 2016. And NYPD in violation 48% in 2015, 38% in 2016. For health, 48% in violation in 2015, 60% in 2016. Parks, 59% in violation in 2015, 43% in 2016. And DeWitt, 52% in violation in 15, 45% in violation in 2016. BIC, 56% in violation in 2015, 40% in 2016, and Landmarks, 80% in violation in 2015, 57% in 2016. So the most commonly issued summonses by agency, they pretty much stay the same. Failure for DOT, failure to comply with the terms and conditions of the DOT permit, failure to permanently restore your cut within the required time, and construction material is stored on the street without permit. For NYPD, it's changed a little bit, right-of-way failure to yield physical injury, vending in a bus stop, and operation of a motorized scooter within the city of New York. For DOB, it's failure to maintain building in a code-compliant manner, failure to maintain the elevator or conveying system, and failure to comply with the commissioner's order. For DSNY, it's failure to clean 18 inches into the street, dirty sidewalk area, and dirty area. For DEP, it's failure to submit an annual test report for backfill preventer, failure to adopt or implement a noise mitigation plan, and failure to keep and have a mitigation plan available for inspection. For FDNY, it's failure to prevent an unnecessary or unwanted alarm, inspections and testing, not having the reports, certificate of fitness, and certificates of qualification. Health, it's failure to eliminate rodent infestation, shown by active rodent birth defense, failure to eliminate conditions conducive to rodent, first offense, failure to eliminate conditions conducive to pests, garbage, cans, and spillage. For landmarks, it's work without or a violation of a certificate of approval. For an alt, work without or violation of a certificate of approval for a flag, a sign, a banner, or an awning, and work without a certificate of approval for a storefront type A violation. For do it, it's failure to provide working public pay telephone and operating services, required sign missing or impermissible as per the requirements in subsection, and installed, operated, and maintained a public pay telephone without a permit. For parks, it's failure to comply with the corrections prohibitions on a sign, unauthorized vending, and failure to comply with the petty cab restrictions. And BIC, it's just basically idling, leaving your engine idling for 3 minutes per offense. So for your appeals, you can see DRB has had the most in the fourth quarter of 2016, 299. DSNY files was 143. These are respondent appeals. FDNY 107, Health 55, DP 13, DOT 33, NITD 15, and Parks 8. So, and
Yes, Shimona Granville,
Yes.
are those only respondent appeals or a combo?
no, I think they're only respondent appeals. I'm looking at Peter. I think they're only respondent appeals. You think they're all? Okay, they're all. I misspoke. Thank you. Okay.
They should be.
They are all. 299 for DOB, that's all, yeah. Okay, thank you for clarifying that, Peter. Okay, and the faults for DSNY, 65,702. DOT, 6,815. Health, 5,496, and DOB, 4,659. Parks, DSNY, 72.4%. So, and that's it. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Please go back.
General Counsel's office will now give us a overview on some rule changes.
Simone Saloon, Assistant General Counsel with Oath. So we have 3 rules for your consideration today, 2 final rules and 1 proposal. So I'm going to start with the proposed rule. This is a repeal of the 16-118 violations, Administrative Code 16-118, from the sanitation penalty schedule. I handed out a more updated copy this morning. We had some last minute changes on Friday afternoon from the law department that essentially take out from the head notes that kind of explain how to apply the penalty schedule, the repeat violations applicable to 16-118-2 and 16-122. Madeline brought up that DSNY isn't charging those violations as repeats, so we just took it out to clean up the penalty schedule. So this isn't a wholesale repeal of the sanitation penalty schedule, it's only of the 16-118 violations. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah.
Elizabeth Bowers, the new member. I'm just wondering why it's being done this piecemeal way.
Go ahead, Madam.
We have to justify every single penalty in our penalty schedule, and if you looked at the number of violations we issue many violations, so we have to do it section by section.
So we'll be asked to.
Well, you'll be
adopt
asked at a later
repealing.
date to do other provisions, hopefully we can combine some of the provisions, but because the 6118 is involved in the Criminal Justice Reform Act, and the repeat violator scheme has to be in place by June for NYPD to begin enforcement, we needed to do 6118 first.
So one of the local laws changed the penalty amounts for littering, sweep out and throw out, and you voted to repeal those several months ago. I think it was back in August. So this is taking out the rest of those violations, and DSNY is working on promulgating their penalty schedule for those
Which will
violations.
include repeat violations for littering, spitting, and public urination, again.
So
The
is
law
that-
department has that currently.
So I understand that this set is ahead of everybody, all the other sets because of the changes in the law that have to be in effect by the summer.
Right, so this one had to be given priority, and otherwise, the law department would never be able to approve any rule involved in our penalty schedule before it would have to be in effect for June. There's just too many violations in our schedule.
Okay. Any other question? Is there a motion? And vote, I assume, is the same?
I see.
Well,
I'm gonna
obviously
do it.
sanitation
And I'll
abstaining,
abstain too.
and Elizabeth Nauer abstains as well. So it passes.
The second rule for your consideration is a final rule. This is the repeal of the Department of Parks and Recreation penalty schedule. So you already voted on the proposal. We published the rule in the city record on December 22nd, 2016, and a public hearing was held on January 24th, 2017. One member of the public attended but did not provide any testimony. We didn't receive any written comments on this rule. So this is a repeal of the penalty schedule that's found in 3-116 of subchapter G of chapter 3 of Title 48 of the rules of the City of New York. Parks is in the process of promulgating their penalty schedule, so we're just asking that you vote on it now, and we'll wait to publish it in the city record as final until they've had a chance to have a public hearing on their penalty schedule and follow CAPA. Does anyone have any questions?
I'm sorry, can you, Elizabeth Nauer, can you just explain that sequence again? So will there be a penalty schedule in effect at all times? Like,
Yeah, we're not gonna, it doesn't become final until we publish it in the city record and then 30 days passes. So we're not gonna publish it until they're ready to publish theirs, but we're asking that you vote on it now so that we don't get held up by the timeline of the board meetings. So they're supposed to submit theirs to the law department and go through their process, but we're trying to, because it's also part of the Criminal Justice Reform Act that some of their penalty amounts are changing. So we're trying to just stay on top of that by having the vote on the repeal now, and then we'll wait to publish, and we're coordinating with them.
Any other questions? Is there a motion? It's unanimous with one abstention or one no?
I'm gonna abstain.
One no and one abstention.
Okay, the last rule we have for your consideration is another final rule. It's the repeal of the noise code penalty schedule. So you voted to propose this rule. We published it in the city record on December 23rd, 2016. We held a public hearing on January 26th, 2017. No one attended, we didn't receive any written comments, and this is the rule that would repeal the noise code penalty schedule from section 3-115 of subchapter G of chapter 3 of Title 48 of the rules of the City of New York. And like all of these rules that I'm presenting, DEP is working on their promulgation. I think you're having a public hearing on February 6th.
The public hearing is a week from today.
So we'll be coordinating with them and not publishing this for final adoption until DEP is ready to publish their new penalty schedule. Does anyone have any questions?
Motion? Which I assume is positive vote with Janae? And
Abstain.
thank you.
Thank you.
Russell Petunis, you're on that.
Hi, good morning. My name is Russell Petunis. I'm in the Bureau of Legal Affairs at the Department of Environmental Protection. This month, DEP is making one request for a cease and desist order under the sewer code. This pertains to Walso Incorporated at 343 West Broadway in Manhattan. I believe this is a steakhouse, if I remember correctly. They have been issued a commissioner's order requiring them to install properly sized grease interceptors on a variety of sinks and drains. That was issued in November of 2015. During all of last year, they were issued a series of summonses for failing to comply with that commissioner's order. They appeared on some of them, they defaulted on others. They continue to be in non-compliance with the commissioner's order. And due to that continuing non-compliance, DEP is asking the board to issue an order to cease and desist.
Any questions?
Elizabeth Bauer, citizen member. I think the materials indicated that the premises is non-residential, but the cease and desist would involve sealing. If they don't, if they don't show up at the hearing and show that they comply, that it would involve sealing the water service.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, is the entire premises non-residential or just the business?
That I actually-
And would sealing the water service affect any residential?
That I'm actually not aware of. Basically, what would happen if they defaulted would be that we could implement a water shut-off immediately. However, we've been doing this for a long time with the backflow cases, and it's basically the same thing. The remedy would be shutting off the water. But if they default, we generally will send an inspector to the premises with a warning notice first saying your water is going to be terminated unless you get in contact, get in touch with Oath and reschedule the hearing. And then what happens after that is, before the water would be turned off, a crew would be sent out to mark, they paint the street and the sidewalk. And generally, when people see that taking place outside their building, they immediately take measures to keep that from happening. Whether we would ever go forward and turn off the water in a building that had residential occupancy, it's highly doubtful, because the building would have to be evacuated. It wouldn't be habitable without water service. So, but in this particular case, I'm not aware whether there's any residential in the building or not.
But you don't think that this would ever resolve?
I doubt the commissioner would ever go forward with a water shut-off on a building that would have to be evacuated as a result. I mean, we'd have to bring in HPD and whoever else would be involved in terms of finding places for people to live. And, you know, over grease traps, I mean, it's important, but I doubt if it's an apartment building that we're gonna throw 300 people out of the building because they don't have grease traps.
Just for our education, if you have a building with, say, multiple storefronts and residences up above, do the individual storefronts and the residential part of the building have separate water meters?
It depends.
Or-
It could be possible in some of these cases if we really did want to turn the water off. If there's a separate service for the commercial, which sometimes there is, then that can be sealed without affecting the residential. It depends on the way, there's all different kinds of plumbing setups, so it depends on the way the individual building is set up.
I mean, the reason I asked was because this seems such an egregious case where there was like just going on for so long, failure to comply and defaulting. So I just felt like this would be maybe one of those instances where sealing might be a more likely outcome than some of
I mean,
the other ones.
it's possible, given the number of times that they've defaulted on the tickets. Sometimes when people see this, and it's not just a ticket, it hopefully will get a response.
And I think the concern is that they may be using human shields, basically, to violate the law.
Yeah.
Michelle McVeigh, Department of Health. So, just for education purposes, so your inspectors are going there and observing them doing these violations because there are several summonses here, so.
Yeah, once the initial inspection determines what type of equipment is required, and that all goes into the original commissioner's order, and then there are just periodic checks to see if they've installed the equipment, and each time, it looks like every few weeks last year, they still had not complied, so, yeah, an inspector goes back. Yeah.
We did a review recently of these types of cases, and generally, it's almost 3 years of the property owner or landlord or business jerking off the city before the city finally moves to seal the property, seal the equipment. There's multiple summonses, notices, orders, whatever, which apparently wind up in the trash, and they don't take the city seriously until we padlock them and shut them off, or about to. Interesting thing is that miraculously, when as the assistant commissioner pointed out, miraculously when they show up with a wrench to shut off the water, they fix the thing within a month or so.
Yeah, we found that the appearance of the crew with the tools and the paint, and they start to paint lines on the sidewalk, usually causes panic in the building, and then there's compliance.
Yeah, then they figure out the city's serious. Any other questions? Motion? It's unanimous with one abstention.
Thank you. We also have 29 requests for cease and desist orders this month pertaining to locations that have failed to install backflow prevention devices in accordance with orders issued by DEP. In each of these cases, the department has determined that because of either the use of the building or the equipment located in the building, that a backflow prevention device is required. In each of these cases, the owner of the building has been ordered to install such devices. In each of these cases, the building owner has been given a summons for failing to do so. And in each of these cases, they have either defaulted on that summons or been found in violation after a hearing. And as in each of these cases, there is still no compliance with the commissioner's order, the department is requesting that the board issue orders to cease and desist.
Question? Motion? Again, it's unanimous with one abstention.
Thank you.
And Kelly Corso will give us a pre-sealing report.
Good morning, Kelly Corso, Assistant Director for Adjudications Oath. We have 11 pre-sealing reports today for the board. 10 of them involve backflow violations and 1 involves a sewer code violation. In 9 of the backflow cases, the hearing officers recommended no sealing or other action based on the respondent's evidence of compliance that was presented at the hearings. In the remaining backflow case, the hearing officer agreed with DEP's recommendation that the CND be discontinued because DEP had determined that a backflow device is no longer required at the premises. For the sewer code case, the hearing officer agreed with DEP's recommendation that the CND be discontinued because DEP had determined that the respondent had complied with the commissioner's order to comply with the terms of his wastewater discharge permit. And that's it.
That's it. You need a motion? It's unanimous, one abstention. Thank you. Is there a motion to retire to executive session? And that seems to be unanimous. Anybody coming back in? No? Thank you very much. Is there a motion to adjourn? We are adjourned.